So the semester's finally over, and I just wanted to catch up and catch back the base with everybody. And usually I don't do this kind of content where I just sit in front of the camera and vlog. But welcome to my story time. And today we're going to be talking about the fact that I had to take for my art credit a women in art class as part of my requirement to graduate from my bachelor's. And oh boy, like I know the class was already going to start out bad when the first day we had to break up into little groups and talk amongst ourselves to discuss what is the meaning of sex and gender and being a woman. And yeah, I'm in no secret. I'm a conservative Christian, and so I'm just like sex and gender are the same thing, and got immediately shot down by everybody. I'm one of two men in the entire class, and the other guy barely showed up half the time, which I don't blame him. But anyway, and so I knew it was going to get bad, but it wasn't really, honestly, it wasn't so bad at the beginning. It was a normal art class, which if it wasn't for the fact that I had to take it as part of my requirement, I would not have even bothered. But I hate art. But you know, I had to do what I had to do. But what really became fun was towards the end of the class, we got into more modern art. And that's what I want to discuss today, because, oh boy, the things that they are teaching these young women is insane. So part of the class was watching films and reviewing them and writing notes about them. And some of the earlier ones were, biopics about Artemisia Gentileschi or Vichy Lebrun. There was a really good one we watched about Hildegard von Bingen, who was a 13th century Catholic nun from Germany. Very, very interesting stuff. That part of the class was actually really interesting to learn about, because I actually fell in love with a lot of Gentileschi's work, because it is magnificent. But, let us say, we got to the modern period, and we're having to watch documentaries like Women Art Revolution, or something like that. And it is the most fucking absurd thing I've had to watch that's free on YouTube, by the way. In fact, for my notes, I wrote down, and as you can see, I slowly start losing my mind. So it starts with an artist renames herself inspired by the Black Panther Party, Judy Chicago. Apparently her last name was something else different, and because she correlates Chicago with being black, even though that's actually a Native American Algonquin word, it's Itaqua, or onion. But, it's okay to fuck over one minority group if it's to prop up another one, I guess, according to their logic. Anyway, so Solowitz's minimalist drawing is literally just a line on a blank canvas. Are we seriously just letting anyone in art school, since we know what happens when we denied a mustache man from Austria? At a certain timestamp in the movie, two women are jiu-jitsu sparring, and this is somehow supposed to represent feminist versus minimalist art. And I'm as anti-Vietnam War as one can get, and these feminist harpies have me cheering on the bombing of Cambodia. Two radical feminists put on a performance, with one having a comically large vagina and clitoris, and another with a large strap-on penis. This is incredibly disgusting, and I can understand why society often thought women were irrational, and this is what young women are being promoted to be. Dr. Arlene Raven, talking in a 1979 interview about how she left her husband and family as liberation, and sadly tells of how she was raped. Sadly, many young women are being told that liberation is to go and waste your youth on frivolous sex with strange men, where often these have places with very depraved and sick individuals that I would not even dare call real men. The personal is the political is a slogan popular in the second wave feminist movement that was meant to break up and destroy the nuclear family. If you actually look into the history of the second wave and the third wave feminist movements, it's heavily communistic and postmodernist. And the fact that this shit gets promoted is insane to me. In the opening of The Woman House in 1972, the lunatic Judy Chicago puts fake breasts all over the wall, but there is footage of a young boy on his father's shoulders looking at this. Again, what the hell is wrong with these people? In Carving, a traditional sculpture, Eleanor Anton takes multiple photos of herself naked. Somehow this is considered art. She says that she was worried no one would accept these because she's a woman, but the reality of this is demonic behavior that no healthy society would find pleasing. In one of these self-published feminist magazines, one of them tries to push for homosexuality. That's neat. Film critic Ruby Rich complains that in the 1970s there was no tangible ideology yet. That's true. Because women in gorilla costumes demanded that they get to kill their babies while in the womb. Again, how am I supposed to take this seriously? You might as well have punk rocker G.G. Allen do his stunts on stage and call it art. Demanding to change the power structures is another postmodernist value, believing that the majority worldview is by its nature always oppressive to the minority. As these people can only understand things as just power games, can't understand broad cultural values. You might as well go to Nigeria and tell the majority Hausa and the Yoruba to change their culture to the minority Hijab. I like how it's shown a debate in Congress and how just 33 years later we went from debating weird pornographic art exhibits to people demanding that they allow drag queens to read to children in public schools and give under 18-year-olds body mutilations and permanent hormone treatment that does irreversible damage. And eventually this all culminated in our final project where we had to give for some reason, because it coincided with the whole Iranian situation happening right now, we were given the option of either making a poster about some Iranian woman artist in solidarity with them, or just make a lecture about women in art. And of course, since I don't give a shit about, I care about women in Iran, I just don't care about women artists, because I'm not an artist, I don't care. So I decided I'm going to be the only guy that does a lecture. And because I have never learned my lesson, and I've had to go into the student representative's office about 9 times for being under investigation for violating the school policy, because I'm a naughty boy who likes to speak his mind, I go ahead and just say fuck it, and I'm gonna make this this unapologetic lecture on the role of women in proper Christian society. And that went as well as you think it could go. And the pinnacle of that day was this girl at the end of it asked me a question about how I find it disturbing that you have a giant building, or a giant sculpture, mind you, that's meant to be walked in like a building, and it's shaped as a woman's body, and the entrance to it is her vagina. And I said that's absolutely demonic, and the fact that you go and call it a cathedral, very demonic. There were things in that class that were absolutely horrifying. Like, I don't even like mentioning this, but for the sake of the video, they had an image of Theotokos, the Virgin Mary, and she was naked and breasts exposed and everything, and it was the most fucking horrendous thing. I blurted out in class, I said, that's fucking disgusting. But God forbid I get offended. I got in trouble for offending my Muslim classmate in another one of my classes, but it's okay as a Christian to mock my faith. But at the end of this lecture I had to give, this girl just straight up asked me, "Are you gay?"
I'm gay.
So yeah, don't put your kids through university. Send them to trade school. It's a joke.